I'm joined by David Lloyd, broadcaster, producer, and all-round radio luminary. David, hello. Thank you for talking to me today.
I thought you were going to say lunatic. No, luminary. That'll do. Thank you.
Yeah, will you take that instead? David, you're launching a brand new station, Boom Radio, offering music and conversation for the over 55s. Can you tell us a little bit how that came about and who's behind it with you?
We were becoming conscious that there was maybe an opportunity for particularly the sort of 60 to 75-year-old demographic, because what's happened is, of course, the BBC are moving their services a little bit younger, Radio 2 and local radio. I see why they're doing that, and if I were running those, I might be looking at that too. But that's the reality of it. If you listen to their offering, Zoe Ball is a different offering from Terry Wogan. So we thought there was an opportunity opening up for an older focused radio station. And although there are some really good commercial radio brands, the Hearts, the Absolutes, some really good Gold and Absolute 70s and all these sorts of stations that actually focus on a particular era, they're very good too if you want a fix of that era. But we thought that there wasn't really a blend of music from across the eras dating back to the 60s and occasionally the 50s as well. So that's what we've put together. It's a radio station also which has some familiar names on, presenters from quite a few years ago whom our listeners will have grown up with. So it's that sort of full service, I hate to say old-fashioned radio station, because there's nothing up. We haven't picked a random radio station off a shelf and said, let's create that. We really haven't. We've created a radio station for 2021 where people my age can feel at home, because goodness, some people think we're just very old. We've got decades to go yet. We're not old. We've got lives to lead and we've got the energy to do something with our life. So it's for people, and this is our sort of brand essence, for people who are still busy living. Radio station for baby boomers.
Fantastic. Now, when you say we've created, who's in this station with you? Who's behind this?
You don't miss a question not answered, do you, Yvette Dore? It started off with an email from me to Phil Riley, who used to be, of course, the chief executive of Chrysalis Radio behind the Heart brand and Galaxy and everything else. And I said to Phil, do you think there's anything in this idea? Well, he, as Phil does, drew some graphs, constructed some spreadsheets and said, might work. That's my impersonation of Phil. Nothing like him. We came to the conclusion that this was actually something that might fly. We spoke to a few potential investors and they all said yes. Everybody was spoken to said, actually, that seems like a good idea. So it's privately funded by a few people in radio and on the edge of radio in allied industries who think, actually, this is worth putting a few quid in. So privately funded, and we have, got together and about to put it on air. Some of the other people on the board include Don Thompson, who was also with Chrysalis Radio. So we've got some interesting people who've been around the block a few times. We never thought we'd be working together again, but here we are.
Great. And in terms of the lineup, who will we hear and what will we hear?
I think when you look at the lineup, it looks really textured and colourful, and I'm really proud of it. We've got Graham Dean, of course, on The Breakfast Show. Graham famously was the voice of London for decades, and he wouldn't boast about this too much, but he did take over from Kenny Everett, and rumour has it his audiences were actually higher. So he was, a very familiar voice to baby boomers from London. On The Breakfast Show. But we've also got people like Nicky Horn, who was also on Capital, Anna Rayburn, of course, who was counselling teenagers on pimples and promiscuity on the days before the internet, and now she's probably talking about different topics to the same people all these years on. So Anna's with a special Sunday night program. We've also got David Hamilton, of course, and David Hamilton was on, this is incredible, isn't it, Radio 1 and Radio 2 combined back in the 70s and 80s. So the incredible audiences he enjoyed. And we've had so many emails from people saying how lovely to hear David back. So David's on at lunchtime. And then it goes on, Les Ross, who he was on that BRMB, an extra breakfast show for about 27 years. Just an incredible run of success on breakfast radio. One of the great commercial radio broadcasters. And I know that he is going to sound stunning. We're doing some dry runs and we've had tears running down our cheeks, sometimes of desperation, but Les will be with us. So it's a very textured array. We've got just I mentioned Anna Rayburn, haven't I? We've got Jane Markham in the afternoon. Jane's a wonderful, refined but mischievous voice, and she was on Radio 1, Newsbeat, and a whole host of things. So it's go on the website, just see that list of names. It's
lovely.
We think it's impressive.
And how can we listen to you? What platforms and where in the UK?
Well, we're on DAB, but you know that, Yvette. We're on DAB, certainly in London, on the
Yeah.
multiplex there. So, right across London. And also we're on the smaller multiplexes, or the city multiplexes, as we sometimes call them, in Glasgow and Birmingham and Portsmouth and Bristol and Manchester. Actually, that's the new one we've just added in. So, quite a coverage actually across the UK on DAB to start off with.
Yeah.
We're aspiring to be on more multiplexes as we go through the year. Of course, it goes without saying, we're online across the UK, so smart speakers, tablets, etc.
Lovely. Okay. And in terms of how listeners will hear about you, are you doing some marketing in the regions that you're launching in, and some test transmissions at the moment, I understand. And
yes,
the big launch is the 14th.
It is. Sorry to interrupt you. Yes, launch on Sunday at 10 o'clock officially, although we'll mosey on in a bit earlier than that, to be honest, a hint to the wise. But that's when we start. And what was your other question? I'm very tired. I've been up since 5 o'clock. What was the other question? Forgive me.
How will listeners know where to find you?
Not very well, judging by this performance. No, we've got a fairly significant marketing endeavour. We've got TV, so you'll see us on television in programmes where you'd expect, whether it's Now 70s TV and Talking Pictures, all sorts of channels that really do fit closely with the baby boomer audience. Also got some outdoor marketing. We're also on social media, and as you can imagine, with our audience, we're probably not going to be on TikTok and Instagram. A little more likely to be on Facebook.
You never know.
You never know. So we boomers get up to all sorts.
Exactly.
So certainly, an appreciable social media spend as well. So it's all those things combined. Quite a few partnerships as well with a lot of the websites and the organisations which actually are allied to the audience we're going for. And alongside all that, we've clearly got public relations firing away, and it's been an open door. I mean, so many people are interested in the story because it's the story of a group of baby boomers thinking there should be a station for baby boomers, and although some of the presenters were still working, some weren't, dragging them out of retirement, kitting them out with today's technology and saying, go on, you can do it. And I have to say, I've been blown away by their enthusiasm and their professionalism, and whatever they've achieved in their radio careers, their determination to get it right, to make this station swing.
Thanks so much, David. All the very best
with
the launch of Boom.
And thank you for all you do for radio. Thank you.
Oh, thank you.